Hello everyone, welcome back to Software Infotech. In today's video, we are diving into AWS automation with PowerShell. I'll show you how to build a script that connects directly to your AWS account and generate a complete EC2 instance inventory. No more clicking through the console with just a few lines of code. You will get a clean CSV report of your instances, including ID, IP, states, and tags, all organized by the region. Whether you are managing handful of servers or hundred of across multiple regions, this script will save your time and give you professional level visibility into your cloud resources. Stick around because by the end of this video, you will have a reusable tool that makes AWS management faster, easier, and way more efficient. This install AWS tool for PowerShell module. Without this, PowerShell won't recognize AWS specific command. Hyphen scope will install the module only for the user profile. No admin rights needed. Module is stored under your user's PowerShell directory. Other users on the same machine will not be able to see it. But if you have admin rights, then you can remove this scope and install this module for all the users. This command calls STS Security Token Service API to return detail about the identity currently authenticated. This is the most direct way to confirm which AWS account your CLI is using. So let me run it. You can see here I am using AWS CLI user to authenticate AWS services using the PowerShell command line. This is another AWS command. It reads the default region from your AWS CLI configuration and tell you which region your CLI command will target if you don't explicitly specify one. In short, these lines are environmental sanity checks, making sure your PowerShell has AWS tool installed, your CLI is pointing to the right account. Coming to the command, this is a PowerShell keyword used to define input parameter for a script or function. It allows you to pass values into the script when you run it instead of hard coding them. Here we are using string. This is a type constraint. It tells PowerShell that parameter $region must be treated as a string. If you pass something else like number, PowerShell will try to convert it to the string. The region variable. This is a parameter name inside the script. Region variable act like a variable that hold the value you provide when running the script. US East 1. This set default value if you don't specify a region when running the script. $region will automatically be US East 1. That way, the script always has the valid region to work. Coming to these two lines, set hyphen default AWS region in a region variable. The purpose of this command tell AWS tool for which PowerShell region target for subsequent AWS operation. Why it is needed? AWS divide into multiple regions like US East 1, AP South 1. If you don't specify a region, command may fail or default to whatever environment is configured for. The region variable is a parameter we defined earlier. When we run the script, region hold the regional value we defined earlier, and then AWS set default AWS region store that region as the default context. So every AWS command you run afterward automatically use this. $instances is equal to get-EC2 instance. This retrieve all information about all EC2 instances in that region you just set. So here we are using the US East 1. So it will retrieve all the EC2 instances information and it will store in the $EC2 instances. So what it does actually, it will call AWS EC2 instances describe instance API under the hood, return collection of reservation, each containing one or more instances. Each instance object include detail like instance ID, instance type, state, IP address, launch type, and many more properties. We are actually storing the full raw AWS response object, not just a few properties you select later. Why we assigning the instances? By storing the result in the instances variable, we can loop through it, filter it, or export it later without assignment. It won't just print raw object to the console. So the first line is lock my AWS command to this region coming from this parameter store. And second line is saying fetch all the EC2 instances from that region and store them for the later issue. Now the next section that we are talking about for each loop on a inventory. So when we run get EC2 instance, AWS return a collection of reservation. Each reservation can contain one or more EC2 instances. This loop iterates through each reservation object. For each loop on the instance reservation.instances, inside each reservation, we access the instance property. This is the list of the actual EC2 instance object. The inner loop iterates through each instance. Then we are making PowerShell custom object with the name properties. Instead of dumping raw object, you build a clean structure object with only the field you care about. Each instance has become one raw in your inventory. So this will tell a unique identifier of the EC2 instances. This tells hardware type. It will give us the information about whether the machine is power on or power off. This will fetch the private IP and this will fetch the public IP. It will give us the information about when the EC2 instances was launched or created. This is a tag value. So whatever the tags are assigned to that EC2 instances, it will give us that value. So in the whole, for each block is assigned to the $inventory variable. Now $inventory now hold a collection of clean human readable object representing our EC2 inventory. The final section of this is output inventory to the console. So $inventory format table auto size. So whatever the object or the parameter we have used for which we want as output, that will be shown us in our clean format. So it creates a variable. It will fetch the data from the inventory variable and it will print on our screen. And another option to export the CSV. So what it is doing, it is creating a variable called CSV path holding the file path where the CSV will be saved. Dollar backslash, this means the current directory. The file name include the region dynamically. So if you run the region AP South 1, the file name will be saved like that. This make it easy to distinguish inventories from the different region. So whenever we are running the, like this time we are running the inventory for the US East 1 region. So in our output file, that region will be automatically printed in the file name. If next time we run the AP South 1, then automatically our exported CSV file will rename as EC2 underscore inventory underscore AP South 1. And in that way, we can easily understand for which region this output has been extracted. Then we are using the export CSV command with the parameter no type information. This will remove extra hash type header line that PowerShell normally adds. So keeping our inventory clean. Here we are using the full path new variable that will resolve the path of the CSV file. So here we have specified current directory, but if we want to make sure that which directory it have exported our CSV file, then we have to add this path. And then we are giving the last statement that is EC2 inventory exported to the full path. And then it will print the full path of the CSV file. So let me clear the screen and let me run it. You can see here, I only have one instance in my AWS region, and let me show you that. Here is the US East 1 region, and you can see there is only one instance running on my AWS console. So let me open this path. And you can see here, we have US East 1 CSV exported. And it have exported the instance ID, type, the state of the virtual machine, private IP, public IP, and the launch time with the tags. So let me change the region now and let me put it AP South 1. Okay, so this time I'm changing the region and I'm running the same script, and it also exported the file very quickly. And you can see here AP South 1 inventory, and there also I have one instances, and it have printed all the information here. So if you want to check what object it is storing in the instances by using this command, then we can see like many properties here. Okay, because we are currently printing only this many properties uh, from the inventory, right? And we want to show see like how many parameter or properties it have stored. So what command we can give? So here we are saying get the instances from the first reservation and select the first instance and then format list everything that is stored as a property. And then you can see here, we can see so many objects. Okay. So now suppose in my output, so let me show you this one as an example. So currently here we are not capturing the security group information here, right? So I want to capture that, right? So let me close this file now. Security group. Okay, perfect. Okay, let me try to print it. It says okay, AP South 1. Okay, I gave the wrong command actually. Let me rectify that here. Security group ID, instance security groups. Okay, so I have to use group ID and then dot group name. Let me see if it is printing now. Okay, it is exported. Okay, now this time it printed actually. There was a mistake in the command. So this is a security group ID and the security group name, and that is how we can export the value. Hope you like this video. If you have any query, you can put that into the comment box. I'll try to answer that. Thank you for watching the video.